Kit Kats! I'm Kat, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to sit down and talk about my thoughts on The Dragon Prince Season 4. So if you have not watched Season 4 of The Dragon Prince, or you have not watched The Dragon Prince at all, I recommend that you go to Netflix right now and go watch it before watching this video, because I will be talking about spoilers. I got into The Dragon Prince back in 2019. My friend Taryn introduced me to it, and I loved it. But I will say that I didn't get deep into the fandom until season 4. I actually went into season 4 completely blind. I had stayed updated enough to know when season 4 was going to be on Netflix. All I knew was that there was a time skip. I didn't even know Rayla had left. So I was kind of surprised. I was watching episode 1 going, where is Rayla? And then they got to Callum's birthday party and Callum's out there sad, and I'm like, and he's like, this will always be a reminder of the day she left. And I'm like, dude, not only did she leave, but she left on his birthday. That's cold, man. So going into season 4 blind and not knowing what everyone was gonna look like or anything like that, it was actually kind of more exciting in a way. I turned on season 4 and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to see what they all look like now that they're older. And you see Callum and I'm like, oh, he's grown up so much, and he's got this swoopy hair going, which is very fitting because he's a sky mage and he's got that windswept hair. And of course he's got the mage outfit, which I have seen a lot of people compare to Viren's outfit, which, yes, there are some similarities there, but I think it's more because they're both they were both the high mage, so there's that similar mage outfit. But obviously when we first see Callum, there is yet another parallel with him and Viren, because in this 2-year time skip, as he has become the high mage and taken over Viren's job, he has also become kind of obsessed with this mirror. Ezrin, he's I think 12 in season 4, but he looks so much like his dad and he's taller now. Rayla looks so pretty with her hair up and her new outfit, and I love how Soren just looks so chill. He is just kind of this is who I am. I am just living up to my own standards and being myself, and I love that. I love that for him. It's what he deserves. I think a lot of people might disagree with me, but I honestly felt that Rayla and Callum's issues were handled very well. I liked the fact that they didn't make Callum just roll over and immediately forgive Rayla, or immediately be like, Rayla, I love you. He's upset, and rightfully so. And I like how, while Rayla obviously wants to continue where they left off, she does give him some space. It shows that, she has also grown. She's become a lot more patient, which I do think that is going to be tested in future seasons, considering that she now has the coins, because that was a thing that happened. And I like how with Callum, you see this whole mix of emotions that he is going through when Rayla just comes back. And then of course that's added on to because he gets possessed by Erebos, so now he's dealing with that on top of that. He's just going through a lot, but I like how throughout the season you see him, while yes, he's definitely trying to mask some of his feelings, you see him slowly kind of opening up to Rayla, little by little. You go from him being completely and totally cold to her, and also kind of being a little bit petty, to whenever they save Zim in the forest, they're all oh, good job, and he kind of goes, he's gonna try to hug her, and then they both kind of turn around awkwardly, and then he's still there for her. She's like, oh no, it's all my fault because of what happened to Soren. And he's like, no, don't think like that. He's still comforting her. He's mad, but he still obviously cares for her. By the time they get to Rex Igneous's cave, like, there's moments where he just kind of leans in and like clings to her, and then of course obviously that's all built up by the big hug at the end, which is so sweet, and he's finally like, I'm so glad you came back. And I really think that like in future seasons we're only gonna get more of that. I don't think they're gonna get back together immediately. It's gonna be, you know, them rebuilding that trust and friendship, but I think we'll definitely see a lot more of them being kind of like awkward and blushy because, you know, they still clearly love each other. I really like how Soren in season 3, he basically left his family and was just like, okay, you know, dad is evil and Claudia is choosing his side. I don't agree with this. This isn't right. And, you know, he's now like the head of the Crown Guard, and he so obviously cares and wants to protect Ezran. That's his king. But you can also see this care that he has for Callum too. So it's kind of like he's found his found family. And whenever he goes with Rayla to search for the entrance, he brings up Callum and Rayla and her leaving, and Rayla's like, I don't want to talk about this, and he's like, you leaving really hurt Callum. And I thought that was such a big brother moment, in my opinion. Like, such a big brother moment. I also loved how we got that interaction with him and Claudia. That was really well done. I think the only complaint that I would have would be, I really wish that some of the emotional scenes had more room to breathe, and I also wish that we could have had a little bit more like introspective moments, especially for Callum. You know, he's possessed by Erebos, and you see him pass out. You do get like a small moment after Ibis's funeral. Like, he's sitting on the edge and Rayla comes over and she's talking about how the last time they were there, she leapt to her certain death and he leapt after her and spread his wings and saved her. And he starts crying and she's like, are you okay? And he's like, not really. I think those tears were, you know, not only Rayla's back and he's kind of like hearing how like at one time like he had saved her and, you know, crying over that, but also, you know, Ibis. Like, during the 2-year gap, I feel like he probably did train under Ibis a little bit, so he's got like a connection there. And then on top of that, Erebos just possessed him and scared the crud out of him. Like, he is scared. And we do see that later on whenever he asks Rayla to kill him. But I wish we had gotten more moments of him, I guess, dealing with that, because we only get really like 3 moments. I really would have liked them to have, like, after Ibis's funeral, Callum is now using Ibis's staff. Like, that's his now. And he says when they go to Rex Igneous, whenever they're giving their gifts, he says, this staff was given to me. I would have liked to see the moment where that staff was actually given to him, because you just kind of assume. I think that a moment, like maybe after the funeral, with Zubeia saying to him, Ibis would have wanted you to have this, or something like that. I think that would have been a really nice moment to have. And also, Ezran, Callum and Rayla get into a little argument, and Ezran's like, stop. And he tells Callum, you are the first human mage in centuries. The creators have confirmed that long, long ago, there were human mages who connected to a primal source, you know, did what Callum did, but they were very rare and they have pretty much been lost to history. But the thing is, as far as characters in the series know, humans can't connect to a primal source. The only way they can do primal magic is with a primal stone. They don't have the ability to form a connection. And then obviously Callum proved that wrong. I mean, obviously you can assume, okay, well, in the 2 years that were in between season 3 and season 4, maybe they read something. Or perhaps Zubeia told them this. I just would have liked to have more of like, where did they find that out? How did they find this out? I think what would have been a better choice, I think, for that moment or that revelation that there were others, would be to have, in that moment, still keep it like they are thinking that Callum is the first person to connect to a primal source. And then later on, as they are going on their journey, maybe they find something that proves that there were other humans in the past that had connected to a primal source. I think that would have been a better way to handle it than just have Ezrin randomly know after this 2-year gap and then have people being like, okay, what? I just think that that could have been handled a little bit better. Terry is great. I love Terry. Terry is such a good boy, but I worry about him. Like, is Claudia gonna corrupt him? Or is he going to be like the voice of reason in Claudia's storyline? Like, I'm really curious to see how that all pans out. I'm really hoping that Terry will end up being Claudia's voice of reason and help her to realize the wrongs that she's doing. Maybe even, you know, once they release Erebos, he'll realize this is not good and he'll go over to the good side. And that's when Claudia will realize, and maybe she'll get a redemption arc. I don't know. So really excited to see where they go with that. I thought Terry was really sweet and charming. Amaya and Janai being together, I love it. I mean, I think most of us saw it coming, but they make such a good couple. And I thought the storyline was very interesting, and it really, I think the whole point of that storyline was to show how there is still a long ways to go. There's still a lot to work through. My only thing was that I feel like it should have been its own episode. That way, I think there would have been more time to focus on the other groups and like be able to have like more of like their emotional moments, get more time to breathe and everything. Whereas the way that it was all set up, you were just going back and forth between these 3 different plot lines. And the Sunfire Elf plot doesn't really tie into the other 2 plot lines this season. Obviously I do think it will tie in later, but it doesn't tie in yet, so I do think that it would have been better off as its own, just like a little standalone episode in the season. Overall, it was just really nice to see all of these characters back together again. I love that Soren is part of the good group now. They're the Dragging, and I love them. And I'm just really excited to see where things go in season 5 because so much was set up. Erebos possessing Callum and basically calling out on all these insecurities of the members of the Dragging. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that is put into play in season 5 and beyond. I'm just hoping that it'll be like early 2023 instead of like August 2023 because I want to know what happens. I want to know what happens so bad. Like, please release season 5. I mean, I'm hoping they take their time to give us something good, but I'm also hoping that they drop it soon-ish. That is my video for today. I hope that you all enjoyed me rambling about season 4 of The Dragon Prince. I really enjoyed it. I know that there was a lot of people who hated season 4, but I loved it. Yes, I do have my criticisms of it, but I think I would probably give it like a 9 out of 10. Comment down below and tell me your season 5 theories. And if you liked this video, please give it a like. And if you're not subscribed, you should totally subscribe. I make nerdy videos pretty much every week. If there's a week that I'm not gonna make a video, I will post it in my community tab because I have that now. It's amazing. And don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified whenever I upload. And until next time, I will catch you later. Bye, meow!